Killer instinct.
What's up, dudes? Max here, and I'm joined by Michael Willett, the lead producer of Killer Instinct. You guys might have remembered him from E3 when we were first talking about the older build of the game. Oh my god, has it been updated, and we're playing the latest Gamescom build, technically, right?
Yes, we are.
So this has Chief Thunder, this has new stages, this has new colors, and new mechanics?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a lot of differences.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just say yeah.
All right, because
we'll go through.
The last one I'm referencing is like the Super Arcade one where we were playing at Killer Instinct Fridays.
Yes, which was also the Evo build with Glacius.
So what we first want to do, we want to check out most of the stuff we just talked about. What we really want to look at is the latest character, which is Thunder. Yep. Is he still a chief? Is he still Chief Thunder?
Well, he's no longer with his people. He's out roaming about.
So he's Lonely Thunder.
Yeah. Right now we're calling him Thunder, and he still hasn't reconciled what's happened to his brother.
Gotcha. So that's the thing, is that his brother died and he doesn't know what happened to his body. Was that right?
Something along those
lines. Okay, I think I forget who I heard that quote from, but that was like the only story thing of Thunder that I heard so far, and I was like, all right, cool. At least he's motivated. So there we go, Chief Thunder, which he also has 4 colors now.
Yeah.
And everybody has 4 colors now. I'll pick the super crazy one. And I just want you to show me kind of the basics of Chief and what everyone really wants to see about him, which is like his special moves, what makes him different from the rest of the cast, and how he kind of fills that triangle that we keep hearing about, like the archetype triangle between zoners and grapplers and the mid guy. So Chief is obviously, big dog grappler, right?
Oh, he's our big grappler.
Okay. Yeah, he's rather big considering he's occupying 75% of the screen right now.
It's all muscle.
It's all muscle.
All right, so as I talked about before, we wanted something that was a spiritual successor to like the original stage.
Yeah.
And that original kind of like backdrop. And so we moved him a little bit further north because with his tale of sorrow, we wanted a little bit darker scenery.
I see.
And something more dramatic, but we still wanted to be with this epic scene fighting amongst the heavens. So we have this really dynamic like scene.
So the stuff, that we've seen so far is that like weather changes like almost rather drastically in between rounds and during ultras and stuff. All right. I think we're gonna have to see more of that. So show me some of the stuff that makes Chief Thunder really unique from like the rest of the cast, so we can show this dude off.
Classic moves returning, so like the triple axe.
Okay.
With multiple levels of it, so you can use it as an opener, as a linker, and as an ender.
Gotcha.
Oh, that actually wasn't it.
That wasn't it? Okay.
That was the Zamamish ender. That's the triple axe ender.
So the triple axe ender is indeed the wall splat ender.
Wall splat.
Gotcha.
And now you can also use his back throw. You can use as an opener.
Oh, and
as a linker.
Oh, so the way you're making up that he's able to kind of throw you around is the fact that it adds a ton of KV, it looks like.
Yeah.
Okay. And for you guys that don't know, the KV meter is the bar that dictates kind of how long your combo is able to go. Once it hits 100 like it just did, the combo pretty much stops and they fall out. And the point is that, this grab adds like a ton of points of KV, it looks like.
Yeah, it's something similar you see in a game like Marvel, where if you start a combo off of a throw, it immediately adds a lot of scaling.
Gotcha. Okay, so that makes sense. But it's mostly used for positioning, it looks like, if I did.
Yeah, so if you want to put someone back in the corner, that's so you have, say, more juggle opportunities depending on the ender that you were using. Or you want to get that wall splat, because then you can follow up for some unscaled damage.
Gotcha. And that was just a really basic combo I just put together. I almost maxed out the KV, but it was 45%, so... Is Chief Thunder the most damaging character in the game right now?
He's pretty damaging.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah,
he's even more than Wolf?
No, I'd say the Wolf has some other opportunities that allow him maybe with some of his tricks, but we haven't shown you all of Thunder's tricks yet, but he does some pretty significant damage. He's a pretty big heavy hitter. Yeah, he also plays pretty straightforward. Okay. He's got a small vortex that you can be performed off of his hard knockdowns, so either going to cross up or with a jumping heavy. Wait till we're up again. Using that attack versus this attack.
Wow.
Doing some ambiguous cross-ups on Wake Up.
So that's jumping forward, right?
Yeah, jumping forward.
And so he's got a pretty usual jumping cross-up, which is his medium kick. So that's pretty good. The one that I just saw get an axe that went down, that was jumping heavy punch, or was that heavy kick?
So this is heavy punch.
Okay. And that hits really late.
This is medium kick.
So most of his vortex looks like it's actually going to be off of like wake up and stuff like that, like after throws. Okay.
Yeah. So tracking people down, and as soon as he gets a hard knockdown, then starting up some mind games.
So, man, you might want to conserve meter in situations like that to do like a big ol' uppercut or Saberwolf's claw slash just to maybe get him off you, because most of those things, as far as I understand, reversals. The reversal window doesn't really add invincibility, like things like, you know, uppercuts and like Saberwolf's Eclipse and stuff like that. Could that be a way to get away from that, or are you kind of stuck in a vortex?
Meter burn moves
will
help. Some people have things on wake up that are invulnerable, or ways to get out.
Gotcha.
Learning blocks, learning the situation.
Okay.
So he has some like natural tick throw setups from standing jab to heavy version of Call of the Earth. That's his new grapple.
So,
but if I use that as a reset in a combo, where I just drop and go into that, that's something really tricky. But if you see it, if you hold up, you can actually jump out.
Gotcha. Let me give that a shot really quick to demonstrate. Oh, okay, so we like barely, like claws at his feet.
Yeah, but it's something that happens fast in mix-up, so it's part of that high risk, high reward. If I set you up and maybe you were looking for a breaker, but instead, I threw out the tick and a throw.
Exactly. Okay, so that makes sense. You can also even go for things like a low into the ankle slice, which is what I was messing around with earlier. And this thing seems really fast. Like, does this combo off of forward or at all?
I think it's a stand. Couple of standing ones that will actually combo off of.
This was the next one I wanted to talk about, was the ankle slice, because it's his only, I think, low-hitting special. Is it a low or is it a mid?
The ankle slicer itself, and I think it's right now it's the lights will actually turn one, so like standing jab into light ankle slicer, fast timing.
Gotcha. So it's like link timing. You have to be really quick with it.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. That makes more sense.
So you can go from overhead to mix up with that.
Whoa. Okay. What is Chief's overhead?
So it's toward heavy punch. So if I'm blocking that, but I'm not paying attention, and then you buffer that in, you can start your combo up.
Okay, so you could possibly even go. Well, I'm already seeing the crazy mix-up potential with this character. And his grab range, as far as his regular command grab, which is, I think, is it fireball back? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So his throw actually has a slower startup than you'd expect from most grapplers.
Okay.
But that's because he also has a ton of range. So you can.
Holy crap! That's half screen without me throwing out a move. Like usually you'd see Zangief in other games, like you throw out a low forward and he'll grab you from like half screen. Yo, Chief can do it.
But also
from
you can
raw.
jump out of it. So.
Okay.
It's all about using setups and getting someone really afraid to move.
I see what you mean. Okay.
So then,
So I think that's the thing to understand is like that seems really good, but there's a way out of it.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's when it comes to a lot of fighting games when they first come out. Yo, dog, that seems broken and amazing until you find a way out of it, and it all of a sudden that insane tactic isn't nearly as good as it used to be.
So then it's really about using it in your mix-ups, getting people afraid to do certain things, because he has other utility as well. So, but that adds to the fear of like. Don't stand still in front of him. It's pretty much
maybe
a bad
jump,
idea.
maybe duck, backdash, maybe maybe just throw out a normal. I see what you mean.
All right, so the shadow move version of it, right here, you can also use as an ender, but you can basically it puts the opponent in a juggle state.
Gotcha. I was just going to appreciate the stage for a second because it is raining like effing crazy right now, and like the weather is kicked up. So that's the regular one. And from what it looked like when you were doing it, like it's almost like one frame or something like that. Happens like really fast.
That one's actually really, really fast.
Okay.
It'll stop people in their tracks.
Holy crap! Okay. So if it's like they're throwing out a normal or anything like that, it just rips through it all. Okay.
So we'll go back in. So say I was in instinct mode, or say I popped instinct because I saw you start to throw a fireball out.
Gotcha.
Popped instinct, dash, instantly input the shadow version of the throw. I got you before you recovered.
Oh, it's almost instant at that point.
It's almost instant.
Damn. Okay, we should.
But that's where he becomes super strong and super scary. Is like when he's got meter and when he's in instinct.
Gotcha. What I really wanted before we get into instinct, because that's like his instinct mode is insane when I first saw it. Let's go into his uppercut. Is it the Samamish?
Samamish.
Yeah. Samamish. Thank you. There we go.
So, yeah, light, medium, heavy versions all can cancel out with this new move. It's called Skyfall.
Gotcha. And does this combo something?
Yes,
so
yes, it can combo to get follow-up damage, but also what it does is say you're playing against someone who's a good zoner, say you're like a screen away, and I want to stop my jump arc. like in a hurry.
Pressing it early.
Like I wanted to get through, say, like a projectile. It's projectile invulnerable on startup, so I can go through a projectile and then immediately hit the ground, so I can start to make my way in.
So if they're throwing fireballs at you mid-screen, or like Tego or Glacius, you can kind of woof through it and catch them off guard.
Yeah, so we did want to. He's not as fast as the other characters, but we definitely did speed him up from some initial tests that we did with him and increased his dash.
Oh, so he's a little
just a tad.
Okay.
Because we don't want him to. It still should be challenging to get in, but not absurdly challenging. So we want to give him a little bit more utility.
Yeah, I would see that like the matchup against light characters like Glacius might be a little tough for him, especially because the Glacius is really long normals and special moves that are mostly meant to keep you away. But with Chief, it's kind of like time one of these really well, and all of a sudden you're where you want to be.
And there's some other tricky stuff that you can do with the Samurai Niche, like trying to cross people up as they're waking up with different versions. So try to get on the other side and do Skyfall.
Oh,
but
okay.
if it's blocked properly, he's very punishable afterwards.
Okay, yeah, you can just beat him up. So this Skyfall thing looks like this amazing tool, but it's risky.
It's risky. It's situational. It's just knowing.
You have to make a good read.
Make a good read and what you've trained your opponent to do previous to that.
That seems to be the overall theme with Chief Thunder, is that like most grappling characters, you have to try to trick people to forget that, yo, I got this big grapple back here. Maybe you haven't seen me use it yet, but all of a sudden, and it comes out and just wrecks you. What I was also seeing was that the shadow version of his grapple is like ridiculous damage. Like it seems to be a lot. It is using meter, and like meter is really useful in KI, especially with certain characters that have different attributes to moves as far as shadow. And you get the juggle state, so that's actually.
And you get the juggle state. So I want to say it's probably close to 20%, maybe not that high. Dave B would know the exact numbers.
Okay.
As far as it doing it raw.
But it's still
it does make
pretty
change.
high.
It's still pretty high, but it does put him in a juggle state, which in a juggle state you're not going to be able to do as much damage, just because of KB kind of governing the amount.
Because it blasts it up. Okay, that makes more sense. I wonder if there's any other specials we've got. So we had the uppercut, we had the dive, we had the triple axe, we had the grab. Is there
the grab's called Call of the Earth, the ankle slicer.
The ankle slicer. Yeah, we talked about this one earlier.
We briefly talked about that. It used as an ender will actually cause a hard knockdown right in front of you. So if you want to stick someone, just drop them right where they stand in the corner, and then get ready to set up whatever mix-up
Oh, so
want.
it's a mix-up ender?
Almost. It's one that's kind of like, hey, you're not going to get away. In a sense, because that one we actually make it land very close to someone.
It's more like...
If you were to jump, your arc would probably take you too far off, but it's very good for just putting pressure on someone.
Okay. It kind of more fits with this character that he wants to stay in on you and not get rid of you through like an uppercut ender or like a wall bounce ender. He just wants to keep you close, and that's what it does.
But specifically, it builds you meter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it does hard knockdown in front of you. Not as many mix-up opportunities with that one. It's just more down right in front of you, but it gains meter, and that's a big utility for him for when he does the meter version of Call of the Earth, but juggle stay, or follow-ups on juggles with meter burn moves. And one thing we forgot to mention with the triple axe is that if you do the shadow version, first hit has super armor.
Holy. Okay, so super armor, any move in the game pretty much gets blasted through.
Blasted, but if you have a move that's fast enough, so say if Saberwolf did like Shadow Leaping Slash.
Oh, and that hits like 5 times.
That hits
really
like 5
fast.
times in rapid succession. That will beat that out.
That makes sense.
But if someone's trying to zone you out with pokes, it's a really good utility to at least eat a hit and get in.